This is we do this, right? Ah! What the hell? Oh, I'm not a fan of that. Alright, the time has finally come. We are here checking out the sequel to a very dear little banger in my hipster, indie-loving heart. We are checking out Rogue Legacy 2. The sequel to Rogue Legacy. Oh, can you tell fuckers because there are 2 after Rogue Legacy? Yes. I can tell it's a sequel because of the 2 after the name. You smartass. But that being said, Rogue Legacy 1, I can't tell you how much time I sunk into that game. One of the inspirations behind me making the channel, to be honest with you. And I'll get more into it once we get into the game. For now, though, let's just go ahead and skip introductions, get the game going, because I'm excited about checking this out. The time has passed, and they have not returned. The estuaries have decayed. The kingdom demands deliverance. Sign the contract, and your children shall succeed. It's a very interesting little tidbit right there, something to keep note in case you are unfamiliar with Rogue Legacy, which I'll cover once we're out of this little introduction scene here. Once you cast off, there is no turning back. And we are good to go. Ho ho ho. It's kind of intriguing, like this, I've been following this a little bit here because I was a big fan of the first one. So everything about the art style is still very Rogue Legacy. Like if I look at this, I'm thinking, yeah, this is Rogue Legacy. What is that back there? Oh my god, it's a giant-ass monster. But now it's done like, it's Rogue Legacy with a different type of like art to it, which I guess is kind of like, I'm not sure if this is the right terminology for it, but it has more of a pastel look to it, which was not the case in Rogue Legacy 1. I kind of like it, to be honest with you, but it is definitely a bit different, and it kind of stands out a little bit here. What do we got? Oh, journals. Okay. We've managed to cross the waters undiscovered. A few guards patrolled the west walls, but we were able to remove them without raising a signal. At sundown, we'll start ascending the wall. Provisions should be waiting for us at the top. J. Okay, so we have a bit of story here. Also had a bit of a weird micro stutter there for some reason. I should also know this is an early access release, not a full release of the game just yet. So I'm bringing that up because I just noticed a weird micro stutter, but my frames are at solid 6. They haven't dipped whatsoever, but yeah, I'm still feeling it right now. There's this small little weird micro stutter for some reason. Anyway, in case you're unfamiliar with Rogue Legacy, what the introduction mentioned about the children succeeding you is very important because that's the entire very unique premise of Rogue Legacy. Unlike a bunch of other roguelike games, when, you know, whatever terminology you want to use without it offending you, is that in a lot of those games you die over and over in order until you finally get strong enough or get good enough to proceed further and further and to actually finally beat the game. In Rogue Legacy it was done a little bit different, and I'll get to that soon. Unknown Journal number 2. We bunkered in here for the past few days as Z and her spies prep the west wall. They've rigged the trapdoors ahead so that we can open them from below. Tonight we make our move. There are heavier patrols ahead, but with all the fighting at the bridge, there should be no time for reinforcements. Rogue Legacy tackled that differently, in that your bloodline would continue your next run, and you'd have a little bit of money or whatever items left over from the previous run that you could carry over. And you could get more and more of that based on more of the upgrades that you unlocked over time. But essentially the entire premise was you die, your next bloodline picks up your sword, mantle, whatever you want to call it. Spin kick. Oh. I don't think I remember you from Rogue Legacy 1, so you might be something completely new. Which is fine, you know, you gotta add some new quirks into the game, obviously you can't just have a 1-1 copy. I'll have to get used to that. Do that? Okay, cool. Alright, I'll get into more of the story once I'm done with these journal entries here. The diving bell cables we needed to pass the interior ramparts were waiting for us just like Z promised, but our scouts underestimated how much we'd need. We're short a few hundred feet. Looks like we'll have to get creative with this one. Oh, is that where the spinny thing came from? Oh. Huh. So if you don't spin, you do a kick as well. That's intriguing. So, your next bloodline will pick up the mantle. What was cool about it is that every single bloodline that picked up the mantle would have a chance of having unique traits. Some of them were huge and slow. Some of them were really small dwarves, but really fast. Some of them would hit strong. Some would hit weak. Some would be colorblind. Some would literally play in vertical, meaning the entire game would run upside down. So it was very unique because you never knew what you were going to draw next. Shortly after taking damage, A aerial recovered. That's also a new mechanic too. So we do that and oh, so if we take damage, we could then recover to some degree? Okay. That could be intriguing for some puzzles, I can imagine. These portals too, are those new? I don't really, it's been a while since I played Rogue Legacy, but I don't really remember those little portals that warp you around that way. But it could just be terrible memory on my part. Looks like Vive underestimated Z and her charisma again. Below me I can see the heads of all the misfits that have joined our ranks. When did so many rebels join? From here it seems like an endless sea. This was supposed to be a suicide mission, meant only for a few. She unknowingly rallied these souls to a lost cause, and my mistakes keep growing. J. Now before... So to say, before I get into my dialogue here, all these journals keep breaking the flow of commentary. This is it, the end of the line. Below us there's a trick door which can only be opened with magic. Z says it should lead us straight to the estuaries. So this is it. Tonight we live and die with the sins I've committed. J. Which sounds like it might be the last journal entry. Now, as you progress with the game, I'm pretty sure we'll find more to expand the story. But maybe for now here in the tutorial we're done. So B spells and Y talents. We don't have any mana for that. And that's a trick door. Oh, so it's a door that we can essentially break. And we restore mana by attacking you. Okay. So Y is a shield. I guess that would block some of the damage that we'd receive normally. So using that would require 50 mana as well. Okay, let's bring up to 100 just so we have enough for the fireball. And keep this 50 just in reserve in case we, Oh, well, thank you. Much appreciated. Open the door. Oh, I see. So you could use it to go up, but you could also use it to break stuff going down. Intriguing. So are we going down into the castle? So I think we're at a tutorial area finally. Perfect. So maybe now we could, talk without being interrupted constantly. So as I was mentioning, Rogue Legacy was one of the main reasons why I got inspired to start a channel. This, along with 3 other indie games, really took up a lot of my time in 2012 and 13. Ironically enough, I remember you too well, my boy. You guys are making a comeback too, I love it. Ironically enough, the other 3 games I've actually covered in the channel. Goodbye, coins. But Rogue Legacy, I don't believe I ever actually covered Rogue Legacy in the channel. No particular reason why, I just never did. But the other 3 games that ate up a lot of my free time were... Sword Guard, how you doing, buddy? Were, Risk of Rain, Spelunky, and FTL. And all 3 of those games I have covered in the channel. As a matter of fact, Spelunky was one of the very first games I ever covered. I did a small extensive series on Risk of Rain, and, FTL, I've covered it on occasion here and there as well, but I don't think I ever actually did cover on the channel Rogue Legacy. How you doing there, Soldier Boner? Soldier Boner. He's a wizard with a freaking staff and you're calling him a Soldier Boner. I don't know what's going through my mind right there. Apparently boners were.
Nope.
This is we do this, right? Ah! What the hell? Oh, I'm not a fan of that. Can I, is there like a, oh, there's no peek feature? I was thinking maybe it's my fault and I could peek down, like move the screen down like you couldn't Spelunky. No. So you just take damage, just take damage because you got trolled. Okay. Not sure if I like that too much, but sure. I mean, I saw like there's a chest. Oh! I saw there's a chest in the map, that's the reason why I wanted to go down there. You're following me down here, are you? Hello. Spear Maiden. You're a fast little bugger, aren't you? Yeah, you are. Let's pop this open. Now we're gathering this money. When we die, if it plays out the same as Rogue Legacy 1, we'll have some of this money left over, and we could use that in order to get a couple of upgrades, but you also have to pay a fare, I believe? At least that's how it was in Rogue Legacy 1. I'm not sure if the number 2 is going to follow the same exact premise, but... we have 2 rooms. I guess we'll just go up for here for now. Oop. And do this. I remember you two. Get out of here. Seems a little bit intimidating, but for the most part, not too bad. I gotta get used to these crumbling platformers, too. How is this situation here? Okay, there's a lot of spikes here. I'm not sure if I'm liking it. I almost feel like they're probably forcing me to use that aerial mechanic that we learned about. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Alright, but before we dive into that, how about we... Okay. How about we go and explore through here first, and then we'll make a decision based on if I want to take portals to... Ooh, okay. That right there is a fairy chest room. You have one chance at it. The moment you fail whatever objective it gives you, that chest is gone for good. So we gotta be really certain about this. Defeat all enemies and don't get hit. And we have, three of the most annoying enemies, which is that spinning hand axe, and the knife in particular is more scary because it's a lot faster. Let me just go up, and then maybe we tackle it going down, because it feels like a kind of a daunting task. The moment you walk in, there's already... You are a stronger boy, because you have a crown. Yeah, you might be like a champion variety of the other red boys. This will take me up there, huh? I'm not sure if I should be doing that. Solok, yes, it's fine. There's a good chest down there, though. Can I hide here? Yes. You know what, sir? Do you like the fire? Burn away, baby. One more should do it. Perfect. Got ourselves a big boy chest here. Scholar weapon. A simple outfit worn by the acolytes up in the study. Now this, I believe we gotta bring it back to like a blacksmith or something like that, and he's the one who handles your equipment. As I mentioned, it's been a very long time since I played Rogue Legacy 1, plus I have a terrible memory, but yeah. I'm not lying to you when I say like Rogue Legacy 1 is something I spent a lot of time in. It's just I have a terrible memory. What the hell is this?
Two hours later.
Okay, so this fairy chest, let's Okay, hold up. That freaking... It's over, Falcon, get out of here. That crumbling, like if the crumbling platform wasn't there, I think we'd had a good chance, because we had to get rid of that little fire dude first, and then we could handle the guys rushing at us. But if we had to handle the guys rushing at us and this platform shooting, or this little dude shooting those fire things on occasion, it would just ruin the entire dynamic of the jumps there. That platform is very annoying, and I'm noticing that they're throwing a lot of that destructible platform under your feet. It's really annoying. 2 shots for you, yeah. I mean, at this point, forget it. I mean, we failed the fairy chest challenge. There's no point in coming in there and killing him just for cash at this point. So let's continue going forward. I guess we'll try out... Hold up. I was hoping to give me some food to heal up a little bit. I guess we could try this. Yeah, oh, there's that other room going down too, but whatever, we'll try this. Let's see, where does it lead me? You better not force me to take damage to do that inner recovery thing you taught me about. Okay, here we are.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
It's exactly kind of almost what it's trying to make me do. It's fine. It's our first run, expect to die. As a matter of fact, I'm surprised we've made it this far here in our first run. Especially without upgrades. One of the things that I'm missing right now, and I'm not sure if we eventually get it or why I don't have it right now, but we don't have the dash feature, which is very, very useful. In Rogue Legacy 1 it was anyway. But there's a dash feature that really helps you out. We got some food there, thankfully. Now, do I want to try that room with the giant-ass champion over there? I kind of do.
But wait! There's more!
I'm not... Ah, you are back! Well, now I don't want to try that room with the big-ass champion. Jeez Louise, alright. Those spikes grow back. Another lesson learned. Oh, don't you even try it. Another lesson learned here. Alright, this is actually nothing at all in terms of progress, but we get some chest here, so that's fine. And for the most part, this guy should be fairly unable to hit us from there. Another leather chest. A beautiful piece of weathered leather. Perfect. So, we have 2 blueprints to give off the moment we do perish. Oh, okay, Falcon, how about we don't stab ourselves? You see what I'm saying, though? Like, you know, without knowing that, hey, those things grow back, you're just gonna jump down and you take damage, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like it feels identical to... Excuse me? Okay, we can't aim the fireball down because you're wondering about that. I'm using all my mana doing that. My only idea is to jump down and do the spin thing, and maybe the spin thing does work. Okay. Okay. Well, we have finally perished. We learned a lot. The game is just as difficult as I remember the first one being. Almost a little bit more on the unbalanced side, maybe just a little teeny tiny bit. It's not even sour grapes. But I felt like we took a little bit damage there and things I wasn't expecting to take damage, you know what I'm saying? But it's fine, you know, it's a learning experience for the first run. So now this is where we die and we get to choose our heir. And they all have different things. We could also unlock different classes, but I guess that it's something that we do with the upgrades here. So we have nothing but knights here at the moment. Great sword, all of them. Shield block, all of them. But they all have different magic, and some of them have traits already. So glaucoma, if I'm right, I could only see around me, but nowhere else. Which, as you could probably imagine, is one of the most difficult traits to play with. But you know what? Since I'm all about learning and showing you guys stuff, let's go ahead and choose this terrible one. And we get Blaze Bellow, burn brutes by blasting bad breath. Okay. Ideally speaking, not a trait that I would normally go for. So here is where, cool, they're gonna do the same thing where you get to upgrade what you're doing going forward. So Universal Health Stare, Socialism at its worst. Trait now gives gold modifier. So let's go ahead and get that one. That's gonna open up everything for us here. Healthcare unlocked. Now, if we go down, way too much money. If we go up, we will unlock the Archer. Yes. Ranger class, whatever. For 50, do it. Would you like to switch to the Ranger class? Sure. Why not? Does that make my glaucoma character now a Ranger, maybe? And over here we have unlocked the blacksmith. We do want that. We picked up some blueprints. And over here we have the Enchantress Quarters. Unlocks the Enchantress. Do I recall you from the first game? I don't really remember an Enchantress, so that could be new, but it could not. I have a terrible memory. And here's the glaucoma, as I mentioned. Darkness surrounds you, plus start with a random relic is with the treasure hunter. That's kind of cool. And our attack's going to be nothing but long range. This is kind of very humorous when you think about it. A glaucoma range class. Only in Rogue Legacy. Hey, buddy, I got some blueprints. Okay, so over here, let's see, we have the Scholar Weapon. Which, let's see. Can we afford this? It costs 500. We cannot afford it. But hopefully it means you have now kept this for yourself in the later future runs. We could probably come back here. Pick that up. We have a leather helm. Cost too much. Leather chest. Cost too much. So we cannot buy anything here whatsoever, but at the very least the blueprints we have now are his. So once we start doing future runs, when we die, come back with money, we shall be able to pick those up initially to start our runs with to make it a lot easier. This is closed off, and over here, aha, our boy Charon, right? Or is it Charon? Whatever. One must pay the fee. And this is the reason why when you have your money, you want to make sure that you're either spending all of it, or until you finally unlock the banks. Well, let's at least see a couple of enemies here. Okay, hold up. Well, we can't aim at the very least, so there is that. But as you can see, this is where the glaucoma thing, works against you, because I can't see that much far ahead of me. So everything is kind of like more of a guessing game, and especially with a ranged class, which excels at being as far away as possible so that you could aim at your enemies, it makes this even more freaking difficult than it should be. This will probably work not too bad, I imagine, with a melee character. You gotta get up in there anyway, you know what I'm saying? But with a class like this, you want to stay as far away as possible, but you can't see that far away. It's really humorous when you think about it. Oh, okay, we found something here, though. Restore 75 HP and 200 mana. Or take 30 damage, but increase your max HP by 15. Let's pick that up. Not bad. Because the Ranger class apparently does start off with lower health. Even though we got those 2 upgrades for HP, you can see that he has lower HP to start off with, as opposed to the Knight who had like 150 right off the bat. So there is that. Well, unfortunately, though, we are out of time. I'm going to wrap it up here for this one. This has been Rogue Legacy 2. I'm not crazy about it just yet. There's definitely a couple of things that rub me the wrong way about it, but it's early access. The microstutter hopefully gets looked into. You know, maybe lower down the cheapness of some of the hits there. You know, if you're going to make it so that you sometimes get tricked into taking spike damage, give me like a chance to either look up or down, like just scroll down by a button or something, like D-pad. Oh yeah, and the D-pad. Can we just bring back the D-pad? I mean, why is it gone? Because right now I'm hitting the D-pad and you see the D-pad is doing nothing. It's literally there for no use. Let me move with the D-pad. That'd be great. Other than that, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll catch you next time.